Okay, so we're going to talk about our evaluation question number 3. So we're going to start with a company that we've looked into, is Lionsgate. They own a distribution method online, so this would be key for us, so we can use it, promote our film online and get it out to our audience. And then
so our audience is of a teen audience of 15 plus, and Lionsgate, they've done films like The Hunger Games, The Expendables, Cabin in the Woods, and that's sort of, they're quite familiar with doing action thriller films, action horror films like we aim to do.
So they're kind of in our same genre.
Yeah.
So we were picking a company that's kind of doing the film that our film's basically based on. So then they're interested in different types of films. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So they have an interest in not just high budget films like The Hunger Games, for example, but they're also interested in low budget films as well, and they're mainly in the genre of action thriller as well.
There you go.
So The Hunger Games was one of the high budget films, and it grossed 152.5 million, and its highest grossing film. It was the highest grossing film
After 3 days.
Yeah.
So that shows us that they're a big company and that this would help us promote our film out, and they do have the contacts and the ability to make our film big.
They're capable of making massive budget and popular films, and also the small budget, and also making them popular. So we felt that was the right company for us to choose.
Yeah. So we think that they were they were similar to what we were looking for. So I think they would have worked well with us.
They got a good example of low budget film as well, which is led by John Saki.
I think that's Saki.
Yeah.
A division of release films that are under 2.5 mil. So that shows that they also have a really low spread of low films, which gives people variety, and it shows that our film would fit superbly in that market. And it shows that they've got a lot of experience from that also as their big films, so it's really useful to use them.
We also looked at a company that really wouldn't fit in with our genre and everything, and that was Disney, because Disney are kind of based on PG films,
Children based,
children
and family.
They do a lot of sort of children and historical based films like Hercules. So they don't really do anything sort of outside that. So we decided that Disney is pretty much the opposite end of what Lionsgate is.
But again, it is incredibly well known.
Yeah.
For its large films like Up,
Lion King.
Lion King.
Yeah. But it just wasn't it wasn't the company that we would have gone to help promote our film, because it just didn't fit into anything that we wanted it to do. So it wouldn't have the right context that we wanted it to target our audience.
The audience has sort of an expectation that Disney will bring out a sort of a child's film and sort of one of those PG films, which I think Lionsgate can sort of work in both ends. So there's not really an audience expectation for Lionsgate.
Exactly. And then this led us on to
how we promote our.
And we thought about using social media, of course, and how we can get it out on Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that, just by using our
word of mouth.
Exactly. And then you've got film festivals, stuff like that we could go to, which
the Cannes
help
Film Festival.
These are all cheap things, because our film will be a low budget film, so we're trying to think of ideas that we could use that wouldn't cost us a lot. So film festivals isn't something that big films really normally do, so we'd most likely be able to get it for a cheaper price than putting it in the cinema.
But then we've also got options of, if we did become big, then you've got...
We had the option of doing what a film in England did, which is release it all in one day. So you release it on DVD, TV and online and everything, and just so you get more views and you get more people watching it, because then they get their own experience.
Yeah, just one large blow, so you have all your excitement then, where big budget films kind of like to space it out over a different margin so they can get as gross market as possible.
Also, because we are a low budget film, it'll be harder for us to advertise it, so putting it all out at once would get the word out more and people would see it more. So we thought that'd be quite a good idea for us to do that.
That brings us on to advertising. So I think advertising for our film is so important because it's a low budget one. So we need to get people to learn about the film. So we'll use posters, billboards, adverts, and social media, which will it'll raise awareness of the film and hopefully connect to our target audience.
Yeah, and that should really work, especially as the social media, just because of the people that we've interviewed, it kind of really works over all of our friends that we know they like these films, so we can kind of aim at our market and then get it out to them as fast as possible. And we know how quickly social media spread, so that's probably the best and most viable way because it's relatively inexpensive as well.
Yeah, we've also thought of like maybe doing it as a viral marketing. That would take a bit more time, and maybe making little clips that will make people interested in making the film. Obviously this would be a cheaper way of doing it, but a bit harder way to actually do it, and we don't know if it would work or not. So that was a possibility that we were thinking of maybe doing, but like we need to come to conclusions of how and like what we would do to tease it before it actually came out.
Yeah.
It brings us onto a point of Cloverfield of using advertising as well, and that they used viral marketing as in putting small videos of fake news clips out on YouTube,
And led to sort of a hunt for more information about the film
before it was released.
Yeah.
Also like Paranormal Activity, who did the same and just putting out little clips and things without spending money, and I think they made, because their film was so cheap to make, I think they made the most profit made in quite like all the films.
Yeah.
So it just shows that if it does work, you can make a lot of money from it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. Thank you.